Going live. Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Welcome to Cliff Notes Live. So happy to have y'all out here this evening. Before going further, a big old SKD 143. I love my wife, love my kids, love reality TV fans, especially love y'all guys out here. Getting to spend every Monday night hanging out with y'all, answering a few questions, telling a few stories, and all of that. So thank you. Thank you for coming on board. I'm looking forward to it. Now, I enjoy having y'all out here. I enjoy doing this show every Monday, but especially this Monday. I'm kind of happy to be doing the show because you know what I'd be doing if it wasn't for the show? I'd be doing my federal income taxes. Yeah, those are due tomorrow. I still have a little work to do. So yeah, I may just carry it on 4 or 5 hours tonight. Yeah, I can't do that. Voice wouldn't last, but this is a nice little break. So thank y'all again for being out here. All right, before we go any further, I just want to give a little shout out as I go through the list of who's out here so far. And for those of you who are watching on replay, I appreciate y'all as well. I'm not forgetting y'all. I just don't see the names out here just yet. Amanda Mutlow. Hey, Amanda, how are you doing? Brian Hostetler as well. Brian, howdy. Zachary, how are you doing, sir? Marilyn Sutherland, Michelle Moore, Mark Taylor. I got to say, it is so cool when I see all the names of all my friends out here week after week and everything. Thank you. Jake the horror movie geek as well. Ma, absolutely. Ma, how are you? I hope you're doing all right, Ma. A little sad that spring breaks over. Yeah, I get it. I remember. I get it. Let's see. Cindy Hire. Hey, Cindy, how are you as well? And that may David. I almost forgot David Manna. Hey, David, how are you doing? Wyatt as well. Howdy, Wyatt. Michelle, I may have mentioned your name, but I'll mention it again. And Marion as well. Guys, I hope y'all are doing fantastic. Again, thanks. Wherever you are here in the States or up in Canada, I hope y'all are doing fantastic. Man, it's beach time down here. We'll talk about that. Nice and warm weather, at least for now. Talked to a guy at work who's up in Minneapolis talking about snowfall and cold and all. We're enjoying our couple of weeks of spring that we get down here in Texas. Before you know, it's going to be 120 degrees. So we'll appreciate it while we can. All right, a few questions as we start going. I got all kinds of little things I figured we'd talk about tonight. First one, Brian Hostetler says, saw you spent time with Ovi. Yeah, fantastic. And then Zachary saying, was that the first time you saw Ovi since Hearts of Reality? Yeah, it was a great deal. Ovi's having fun right now. Ovi's on a boat. Sounds like the start to a country song, right? Ovi and Hannah flew to Houston. So he let me know he is coming in. I said, man, let me take y'all down to Galveston. They're going on a cruise. So I picked Ovi up at the airport yesterday. Drove. Ovi's been to Dallas before. He's been to Texas, but he'd never been to Galveston. Hannah, his girlfriend, had never been anywhere in Texas. So, of course, I had to play the tour guide. We had a blast. We drove down to Galveston, which for those of you who don't know is 45 minutes south, probably about 45 minutes south of Houston. It's kind of the seashore city. It's where the cruise ships have their ports and all that. Nice little town. Really cool stuff. So I drove them down there. Of course, I had to stop at Buc-ee's, which is it's got to be the world's largest convenience store. I know people up northeast talk about Wawa, not Buc-ee's. If you're here in Texas, I think they've got one in Alabama. They're opening some in Tennessee as well, but Buc-ee's is incredible. So I took Ovi and Hannah into Buc-ee's. I felt like it was a Texas Disneyland. Did that and then went on down and showed them all up and down Galveston, told them all kinds of stories about hurricanes and such, and ate outdoors, had seafood right there on the beach, and just fun. I had not seen Ovi in a while. To answer your question, Zachary, it's the first time I saw Ovi little less than a year and a half since Hearts of Reality of 2021. It's started to seem like a long time ago. Ovi was part of a lot of the Big Brother 21 folks that were at Hearts of Reality, not last December, but the December before. And so yeah, I hadn't seen Ovi for a while. It's so much fun. Every time we get together, we have new stories about things that happened either in the house or how we just enjoy, our gripes, the cool stuff, everything. So Ovi and I talk a lot about that. It was just fun rehashing everything that's been going on in their lives and talking about just life in general. A true friend. Ovi is an absolute true friend. I told Ovi I was upset in a way that they had camp come back because I don't know. I feel like it kind of screwed up his game. It screwed up my game a little bit as well. If we hadn't had camp come back my season, Nick, the week before, the week that Nick ended up putting me on the block, Nick would have taken a shot at at Mickey and Jack on the block. I think he would have done it. The only reason he didn't was because he knew Camp Comeback was showing up and he didn't want to have one of them go out of the house, win some kind of easy competition against people who'd already been sent out, and then he'd have someone coming after him. So if it wasn't for Camp Comeback, I think that whole season would have been different. But I did tell Ovi, having said that, I'm still glad there was a Camp Comeback, so he got to spend a couple of extra weeks in the house. So we had that much more time to hang out and just get to know each other and everything. So yeah, a lot of fun talking. So much fun. I had a blast. It was great. All right, Zachary Sam, what's your favorite food item to grab at Buc-ee's? I mentioned Buc-ee's. I'll say just a little bit more for those of you who may not know just yet. Do an internet search. You'll find it real quick. These stores are huge. They're popping up on interstates all in Texas now. And, again, as I mentioned, a couple other states. They must have, REM's asking what's Buc-ee's. It's you can call it a gas station, you can call it a convenience store, but I don't know. That's like calling Disney World an amusement park or something. It's so much more than that. They probably have 80, 90, 100 fuel pumps at least. They've got they have a reputation as the cleanest bathrooms that you could stop at. You walk into these bathrooms, can't tell you much about the women's, but the men's is just walls of urinals and stalls and everything. It's amazingly clean, incredibly clean. They've got an entire county of jerky. They sell all kinds of barbecue. It's huge. It's giant food, Texas memorabilia. Trust me, it's just gigantic. So we got that. So my favorite food at Buc-ee's. Here's the thing: when I drive with the family from Houston to Dallas, Dallas to Houston, we pass by. We usually stop at Buc-ee's. We stop there a lot, except sometimes it is so crowded. I don't even want to step foot in the place because it's so packed. But when we stop, you can't. I mean, they sell barbecue, right? You eat a lot of barbecue from Buc-ee's. They have sausage on a stick, not just any sausage. It's just sausage on a stick with a tortilla wrapped around it, because you got to get your starches, right? So I certainly get some of those. But then they've got kolaches, which I don't know. How do you define it? How do I describe a kolache to someone who doesn't know what it is? It's like a pig in the blanket, right? It's kind of a pastry-looking biscuit type or a roll with the sausage in it and cheese, and I get it with jalapenos in it as well. There's a lot of they got that 20, 30, 40 different kinds of beef jerky, cinnamon rolls that are gigantic, this big. Isn't it funny? I'm getting a little passionate talking about Buc-ee's, and it's a gas station. But no, I'll go with the barbecue just because, Texas and barbecue, it seems like the natural. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. There's times where I'm driving in the middle of the night, 2:00 in the morning. You go into Buc-ee's, you get a big old cup of coffee, a big old barbecue sandwich. Talking about pepping you right on up and getting you out the door again. So that's fantastic. So check out Buc-ee's if you ever get down to Texas. If you're around Houston, I'll give you a personal tour. Now we had fun. All right, Moss saying, all right, and Amanda Lowe saying, crawfish boil yum, and Moss saying, where is that picture from? Now, so my Instagram reminder, my on the YouTube reminder had a picture of me posing in front of a huge platter of crawfish. I put that out there because today is, for those of you who aren't aware, National Crawfish Day. Very much a Southern delicacy, almost even more a Louisiana, Southwest Louisiana, East Texas kind of deal. Crawfish are freshwater versions of lobster, basically. Same thing, except they live in freshwater, and they're about this big. During the off season, crawfish are tiny. They're like little popcorn shrimp. They're not worth it. During the best parts of crawfish season, these crawfish get big like this. And the way you eat a crawfish, you boil it up typically. So you can see my background here. You boil it up. You typically You have all kinds of spices in there. It's very spicy the way we like to eat it down here. Mix in some corn, some potatoes, some sausage into just a big pot. You bring out the crawfish. There's a skill to eating crawfish because there's shells all around it. So you peel off the tail meat. You kind of twist the body and the head so the head pops off. Then you can peel the rest of the meat, and you got the tail sitting right there, and you can eat the tail. It's just like a little piece of lobster meat, except spicy because of everything that we've soaked it in and cooked it. If you're real hardcore, you then take the head and you suck out everything, all the extra little organs and stuff that are, I guess it's a brain. I guess crawfish have the brains up where you think they'd be, right? So you can suck out the heads as well. Yeah, there's not enough meat there to justify. If I'm on Naked and Afraid or something like that, yeah, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll just go with that tail meat. So good. So yeah, it's crawfish season goes from January to May or so. So we're right in the middle of it. And when you order up crawfish, normally you'll order it up by the pound. I want 1 pound, I want 2 pounds, I want 3 pounds, and people can. I put away 4 or 5 pounds at a time. I mean, big old platter they bring out. But you spend a lot of time peeling it and getting to it and all that. I lived for a while, right about the time my daughter was being born. In fact, we lived in Lafayette, Louisiana, which is the southwestern part of Louisiana, right in the middle of Cajun country. Whew, we ate well while we were down there, between crawfish and jambalaya and etouffee and boudin, all the food they had down there. But there was a lot of crawfish, and you'd go to a crawfish boil. They had a lot of. And what it'd be the equivalent of what do they do up northeast? The clam bake or something like that. It's something similar to that. And there were people there that could eat 10, 20 pounds of this crawfish. As soon as they bring out the platter, they're peeling away and they're eating it. So yeah, I learned to love crawfish while I was in Southwest Louisiana. I've enjoyed it ever since then. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Well, there's something else I was going to tell you about crawfish. I don't know. We'll come back to it a little bit later. But happy National Crawfish Day. I really wish, if it wasn't for those dang taxes, shut down this show when I get done and go get some crawfish. But yeah, it's not going to happen tonight. We'll have to save it up for a little bit later. All right, Marilyn Sutherland saying, did anyone watch the live reunion for Love is Blind? It was crazy. All right, it was so funny because Ovi and his girlfriend Hannah and I are sitting there eating, and once I left them at their hotel and all that, they spent the night there, and then cruise goes out today. They were talking about going down on the beach and just seeing the sights and everything. But then Hannah stopped. She said, well, we can do all that as long as we're back to the room in time for me to watch the Love is Blind live. I guess it was live streaming, right? Which I think maybe that's the first time Netflix has ever done that. I have not. I've watched an episode of Love is Blind, a couple episodes from one of the earlier seasons. I haven't kept up as much lately. I watch a lot of reality TV, not so much the dating shows, just because I don't have enough hours in the day, I suppose. But I did watch X on the Beach when Kat was on there. But yeah, I did not watch this season of Love is Blind, but I did hear all about it. I heard there were a lot of people that were upset because I don't know, were there too many people logging in? It caused the whole system to crash, or everyone logging in, one person with an account and 40 people all with that account's password all trying to log in at the same time. Maybe that's what caused it. I don't know. I heard it was delayed an hour and then just didn't work out. But I don't know. There's a lot of talk. Hannah was asking me if I'd watch it. I said, well, no, but as much as I'm hearing about it here the last few days, maybe I need to start that as well. So yeah, put it on the list. But no, I didn't watch it, Maryland. But doesn't mean I won't be watching. That's the beauty about Netflix. You can just get those things. You can binge them all at once and be done in a single evening. Sometimes that's the best way to do it. Especially some of these shows where it takes me a few weeks to even know all the names and everything. You watch it all together. Names don't really matter so much. You're just watching the people, right? So yeah, it's quite the event. Netflix does so much. Now they're doing The Circle and some of these other reality shows, so they got it going on. All right, LJ Price saying, howdy from Utah. LJ, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Utah's such a beautiful state. I've been there a few times. I did some training in Salt Lake City once, so I hung out in Salt Lake City, and we did some little tours up into park cities and all. I'd love to go there for ski season. Haven't done it, but yeah, that'd be a fun. You live in a beautiful part of the United States, so welcome aboard. Glad to have you. All right. Mark Taylor saying, any preseason picks for the Challenge 2 USA? How about Tyler from Big Brother? Is that official? I've seen some of these lists popping up, showing the cast and everything, but I didn't know if that was official or not. If I recall, the list I saw seemed okay. I mean, I don't have any huge issues, I don't think, with anyone on there. I think Tyler would do pretty well. I know Derek Frazier's a little upset he didn't make it on the challenge. Probably saving his life, just like they saving my life by not putting me on there. But I don't know. It's funny because I watched the first Challenge the World or whatever that was on CBS, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it was fine. It was that's the one that had Tommy and Sis on it and all that. I enjoyed watching it. But then they had the World Championship, I guess, Argentina, the US, UK, and South Africa, I think, or Australia. I think now maybe Australia. Okay. I watched the first couple episodes, and then it jumped over to Paramount Plus, which I need to renew my subscription once Big Brother gets here. So don't cut those live feeds, Paramount Plus, if you want me back on your platform again. But now, so I didn't finish watching the world conclusion of last season's The Challenge. So I'm probably a little bit behind even on this next season. But damn, I don't know. I've gotten so used to watching The Challenge with the same people season after season after season. And now they're starting to bring in so many of the newer people from, Love Island and Big Brother and Amazing Race and Survivor. And I like it. I mean, don't get me wrong, especially because, I know some of the people and all that, but it just seems like it's a little bit different direction they're going with the show. Probably because they're afraid they're going to kill someone if they stick with what TJ's been doing with the challenge over on MTV. But yeah, so I have no forecast yet on who's going to win that one. But hey, Tyler's got social. I mean, his all-star game wasn't maybe as top-notch as you would have expected after his first season, all that, right? He had a few issues and a little controversy here and there, all that, but I think he's a good strategic player. He's also a athletic guy, so I'm sure. I'm not surprised that he's on there. He seems like a perfect choice for something like the challenge. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. I love watching these people compete on these reality shows after I've already met them. So now I know them not just from their previous seasons of whatever show they did, but I've hung around with them at the bars or out by the pool or, sitting in a bus or something with them. And so I feel like I know them just a little bit more, the person behind and all that. And it just makes it that much more fun when I get to then watch them on the screen again and cheer them on. For the most part, have I met anyone that after I met them, I then said, I'm not cheering for them anymore? I don't think so. And if I had, I wouldn't tell you. No, yeah, because y'all know me. I'm staying positive, but it really is funny. The people I meet at these charity events and everything, they're also such nice, normal, regular people. Even the people that you think could be real divas because they're so popular and famous, they're still super nice people. But as I said before, probably the mean, nasty ones aren't the ones that go to the charity events anyway. They're home stewing and posting trash online or something instead, right? Probably so. All right. REM saying, would you go on Amazing Race with Sharon or Sue if Ovi went on with Hannah? Well, first of all, I would love to see Ovi and Hannah on there. That'd be great. Would I go on the Amazing Race with my mom or with my wife? Yes, but the reality is it ain't gonna happen. First of all, I love my mom. I don't think she's set up right now for jumping out of airplanes and doing some of the running back and forth and everything that takes place. I mean, you would not think our chances were good if I'm the person on the team that's running way ahead of the other person and saying, you're slowing us down. That's my role. That's my role, to slow someone else down, right? My mom loves The Amazing Race. Probably her favorite reality TV show. She'll never admit it. It may even be her favorite reality show over Big Brother, except for season 21 for obvious reasons. But she loves the show, but I'm not sure mom's quite up for being on The Amazing Race. Sharon, I'd love to do it with her. We'd have fun, but yeah, I think Sharon probably isn't real inclined to be jumping out of planes and swinging down ropes off the sides of buildings, things like that either. I'm gonna have to be grabbing. I don't know, I have to grab one of my kids maybe, or hey, one of y'all out here. Let's have a reality TV folks and fans combo teams. I guarantee you, I've tried any of y'all out here. It would be so much fun. I would have so much fun just to get to hang with y'all and do one of these shows and hey, bring home $1 million. We'd all be all right with that, right? Yeah, I'd love to do Amazing Race, but don't think I'm doing it with the wife and the or the mom. But if Sharon tells me, yeah, I'm calling the producers tomorrow. I don't think she's gonna do that. Who would I do the Amazing Race with though? It'd be fun. It'd be fun to do it. It'd be fun to do it with Ovi. It'd be fun to do it with Kat for my season. Obviously Nicole, if she did another reality show, I would do it with her as well. It'd be fun to do it with some other people, kind of in my situation, like Donnie from Big Brother 16. I think Donnie and I would have a lot of fun. James Hewling and I, we'd probably have a lot of fun too. I'd pretty much do it with anyone. I'm not real picky when it comes to that kind of stuff. It'd be fun. All right, what do we have on here? Marion saying, notice that many people in reality shows don't watch their shows after they're off. What do you think that is, and have you watched your show? I get it completely, because here's my little secret. I've watched about the first third of my season of 21. I watched it. It was fun. Sharon and I talked about the episodes. I told her what was going through my head. She told me what people had been talking about, because she watched all the live feeds. So she said, oh, well, while you're in there saying that, they were in the other room saying this and everything. So it was really informative back and forth between the two of us to talk about my season. But I stopped. And I stopped right about the time that I won HOH, maybe a week or two after that, somewhere right around the jury phases when I stopped. And so I get why people don't like to watch themselves. And here's why, at least for my personal situation, why I don't like to watch it is because it brings back so many memories of stress, some good, some bad. I mean, there's both of them. It was hard for me to watch the episode where I'm sitting there blabbing away in the boat room and Christy's outside listening. I just want to kind of hold my head down and shrink away when I watch that. So there's certainly things that you watch and you think, why didn't I pick up on that? Or why did I say that? Or why didn't I say that? So you see your down moments, but even the strong moments, the time where I won the HOH or where I won that battle back, and I know it's going to be a good outcome for that particular episode. It's still stressful because, well, for example, when I got blindsided and had to compete in a battle back, I'm sitting there watching me on that TV screen, remembering how traumatic it was in my head when I heard Julie Chen announce my name. I didn't show it. I'm pretty stoic. I didn't show a lot of emotion on that kind of stuff, but inside I remember just thinking, geez, cannot believe that. And so even when I'm watching the episode, those memories of what was going on in my mind come back. And again, even the stuff when I won the battle back and I was so excited, the emotions are just so strong. I'll never compare myself to the military or anything else, because it's a whole other level when you're putting your real life on the line, right? But I feel like I got just the tiniest taste of that kind of PTSD, where you were so focused on that objective, on that goal while you were playing the game. Now, maybe not everyone in my season. I feel like some people were a little less focused on the end goal and a little bit more focused on just hooking up with whoever was around the corner, it seems like. But that wasn't me. I was focused on that prize at the end of the game. And you get so focused, you get so emotionally strung out because of it. And because of that, it's just very emotional for me to watch my season. I've said before on here, and I will do it because it's been 3.5 years now. I'm up to watch the episodes. I'd like to watch the episodes and do it together. Marianne said, I think I'd be paranoid or not trust what people are telling me. Tell me about it. After being on a reality show. Did you have that, and how long did it last? Yeah, it was. Here's what I remember. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. You look at people differently, and everything about you kind of I remember just a little less patience with everything. Everything's just so fast in there and decision making. But what really hit me was while you're in the house, you eat what they give you food wise. You can't, if it's in the fridge, it's fine, but it's not like I'm ordering McDonald's or something while I'm in there. Everything is like being in prison in some ways, except you choose to be there. How crazy is that? But I remember when I got out, I was with my family the next morning. They said, Cliff, where do you want to eat? What kind of food do you want? And I remember telling them, saying, look, I'm not used to making a lot of decisions with food and going places and seeing all these people. Just pick somewhere. I am sure after 3.5 months of eating the same food, I'll be perfectly fine with it. So we went to a little breakfast spot. But I also remember those last few weeks when there were only 4 other people in the house. Suddenly, I'm at the live finale. There's a whole crowd of people. I'm going to a party the next night, and there's 400 people that all want to shake hands and talk to you. And suddenly being so enveloped by people and noise and lights and new things that I hadn't seen. That's the part I remember where it was a little bit stressful, just because I'd gotten kind of used to being that homebody locked away inside the house. But I certainly felt that emotion wise in terms of just how I was interacting with people and all of that. And how long did it take me? Probably about till Christmas time. We got done late September with our show. I remember having the most vivid dreams, stress dreams of still being in a house, of suddenly realizing that there were 4 or 5 people I had never talked to that I didn't know their names, and now they're voting on whether I stay or not. Those kind of stressed out dreams. And that lasted for a couple of months. It really wasn't until the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, extended family, before COVID. So actually going to visit extended family and seeing a lot of friends and family and all of that. And once I got all of that going on, and I also got a lot of my family saying, yeah, you're on a show, but you're not that important. You're still just Cliff, the family guy and all that. And all of that came together, and I was able to finally just kind of take a big breath and realize that, yeah, that was then, this is now, and they're not necessarily the same kind of situation. But it did take a while. It absolutely took a while. All right, what else do we have on here? Amanda's saying, I vote for the Hog family to be on Family Feud. And REM saying against Nicole's family. That'd be fun. Here's a little thing. I don't know if I've said this before. When I tried out for Big Brother, Sharon was there with me. So Sharon knew I tried out. She knew that I got called back in to talk to the producer some more and all of that. It's funny when they call me back, the first thing they say is, Cliff, are you alone? Are you by yourself right now? It's like, yeah. Hold my finger up to Sharon and say, be quiet. But they truly said they don't want you telling anyone. They said, do not tell anyone whatsoever. Well, I told my wife, how am I not going to be telling Sharon about something like Big Brother? But she knew about it. My kids knew about it. Oh, I don't know, about halfway through the process. Eventually, I let them know that what was going on, when it started looking like it actually could be something that was going to happen. But I remember I had to get signed releases from my extended family. So say, I can't talk about you unless you're willing to sign away all your privacy rights and all that. So I got all my family together and said, all right, guys, I got a little something that's, y'all may not be expecting, and handed out the releases to everyone and said, you got to sign it. But they knew when I first showed up that I was going on some kind of TV show. And I've got 2 nephews. One of them thought that I was going to go on Worst Cooks in America. It's like, why would you think that I am qualified for Worst Cooks in America? I'm not the best cook in America, but I'd like to think I'm not the worst. But that was his first thought. I was, oh, you're going on Worst Cook. Of all the shows you could pick, right? The other one, when I handed out the releases to everyone, that was his thought, was, all right, the Hog family is going on Family Feud. I think we'd do all right. We're a little over the top. I'm not sure Steve Harvey could handle the Hog family on Family Feud. I'm not sure he could handle the answers we'd be given, because they get a little risque here and there. I'm sure we'd be playing right along with it. That would be fun. I feel confident the Hog family would win, but yeah, that'd be fun to do. All right. Brian saying, you'd be a great poker player. I love playing poker. It'd be a lot of fun. And there's people who've tried to play poker. John Party with from Big Brother up in Canada. Boston Rob has tried it. There's a lot of people from the reality world that, for whatever reason, want to play poker. I'd love to do it, but here's the problem for me: I don't like losing money. I've discovered I like winning money less than I hate losing money when it comes down to it. And so when I play poker, it's tough. It's tough for me to know that I'm throwing my money out there to do all that. But I understand. I'm a mathematician. Well, I'm an engineer, so I got a little math behind. So I feel like I've got a pretty good feel for the odds and what the probabilities are and all of that. I feel like I got enough. I don't know. I don't know if I can bluff people or not. I think I can mislead people enough that I could probably make it happen. Yeah, it'd be fun. Maybe somewhere down the road, when I'm retired, you're gonna find me over in Vegas with the sunglasses on and the hat pulled down low, and all doing my chips all around and all that, and then go play the World Series of Poker, and I'll run into Vanessa Russo. Or Vanessa was one of my favorites. I loved Vanessa's game when she played Big Brother. Well, she's 17. I can't remember now, but I thought she played great. I really thought she could have won that thing. She came close. Yeah, I'd love to sit down and have someone like Vanessa Russo give me a lesson or two on playing poker, because she is as good as she was at playing Big Brother. She's even better poker player. That'd be fun. That's one of my hobbies that I'd love to do somewhere down the road. But I may be best at the penny ante table, right? I could walk out of a casino and be perfectly happy because I made $2 more than I lost. Doesn't matter how much it is. It's just the fact that you beat the casinos. All I care about sometimes. All right, what else do we have on here? Cindy Santa was in the audience for Family Feud when Richard Dawson was host. Good thing you were in the audience and not up on the stage. Oh, Richard Dawson liked to, I was gonna say, hug. He didn't hug. He gave kisses all the way around, didn't he? He was an affectionate game show host. I liked Richard Dawson. It's been forever. Remember him on Hogan's Heroes. Half of y'all probably never even watched Hogan's Heroes, but Hogan's Heroes he was on, and yeah, he was great. He was the host of Family Feud forever, right? I was in the audience, not for Family Feud. I was in the audience for Love Connection. That was fun. I was over there doing work, and I said, "Oh, you know what? I got a little time. I'm gonna watch them tape some shows, because if you're Hollywood, you gotta do some of that, right?" So I was able to get in to do an episode of Love Connection. Chuck Woolery was there. I think they did film two episodes back to back, if I recall. Not a single person made a connection while I watched that show. Chuck Woolery at one point said, "This is the first time we've ever had this happen with such bad dates," which is still kind of fun to watch. So I sat in the audience and I watched Love Connection, and then I sat in the audience a little bit later that evening and watched a taping of the show Coach. Do y'all remember Coach? Great show. I love it. I was watching a taping of Coach and didn't even realize in the middle they said, "Guys, we just want to introduce, we got a little special guest here watching the taping as well, Mike Farrell." And Mike Farrell was from MASH, if y'all remember the old sitcom MASH. He's sitting right in front of me. Now, the show had been off the air for a few years. He'd aged a little bit, and I was only looking at his kind of bald head from the back, so I didn't know who he was, but he turned around, waved at everyone. I was like, "Oh my gosh, right here in front of me." And Mike Farrell. So yeah, that was cool. That was my only brush with Hollywood until I was on Big Brother. And then the rest is history. Yeah. Ma said, "Would love Family Feud. No idea who my fifth person would be." Ma, I'll make you an honorary Cliff's Angel, an honorary Fellowship of the Zing Alliance member for Big Brother. You bring me in and make me your fifth member. I'll be happy to throw out those oddball answers and stand over there and do the X's and try to intimidate the other side and all that. I'll do it. I'll change my last name for a little bit and squeeze right in. And I'll sit at the very end, Ma, so they don't ever get to me until the end of the game anyway. So yeah, I'll do it. Just give me a call. All right, Amanda Lowe saying, "Did you gain or lose weight while you were in the house?" It is amazing. I actually lost weight. I'm not one that spends a lot of time on a scale because I think people get too focused on that sometimes. I try to work out. I need to do more of it, but I try to work out just to get in better health, not necessarily because I'm watching the pounds every single day. I don't know. That's always great. But inside the house, how how did I lose weight when I'm sitting in there doing nothing except laying around? I mean, hanging from a wall isn't exactly the endurance it's going to burn a lot of calories, right? OTEV a little bit more, but even so, sitting around a house, sitting around a pool all summer long, uh, and yet, yeah, I still lost weight. And you know why I think that happened? It's because I didn't have access to a little place called Mickey D's. Yeah, it blows me away that I went 3.5 months without any fast food, none of that stuff. No, nothing except the food they gave me in the house. So no McDonald's, no Chili's, no TGI Fridays, none of that. Now, what I didn't realize was that I turned around and no Whataburger. Yeah, I missed my Whataburger while I was in there. I missed the shakes from Whataburgers as well. Uh, little did I know at the time that 3.5 months was just a practice for COVID when all that stuff shut down anyway. It blows me away that I went an entire year during COVID, and Sharon and I did not go eat at a single restaurant. We didn't go to a single fast food restaurant. We got some, those HelloFresh meal preps and things like that. But basically, we ate at home for a year, which was not bad for the health and all that, in all honesty. But no, I actually did. When I got out of the house, I had lost weight, even with me drinking soft drinks and stuff while I was in there. Just not having that high fat kind of fast food stuff, it made the difference. But I changed once I got back out. I will just feel like that. I need to work out some more. Mark's saying, if you could change one thing on Big Brother USA, what would it be? Oh, God, that's a hard one, Mark. Because like I say, I watched that first season. I don't know. I'll say what I would change. I don't know how I would change it. I was not happy with the finale. I would have figured out some way so people weren't quitting on that competition the way they did. And it wasn't just the very last segment that a lot of people dropped out. I mean, I get it. They're running up a freaking mountain. It's 400 degrees below zero. It was cold. It was very cold. I get all of that. I understand why people dropped, but I wouldn't have let it happen. And I don't know what that's. Bump the prize, make it a penalty if you drop instead of just absolute you're out of the race. I don't know how I fix it, but I feel like the end of that season really let me down. I enjoyed the first part of it. I'm trying to think the other part of that Challenge USA, they kept getting matched up with different people, right? You would have David and who else? I don't know. David and Tiffany are a team. Well, then the next week, or they random generator, supposedly. I always wonder if those things are really random, but you were matched up with someone else every week. It seems like. I get it. It creates more drama and chaos because sometimes you're stuck with someone you don't really trust. Sometimes you're working with someone you like. I get all the reasons they did it, but I'm always a big fan of the reality shows where you sink or swim all by yourself. You're not able to blame anyone else. You're not going to depend on anyone else. That's what I liked about Big Brother. Now, there were certainly times where I was depending upon other people to save me. Sam pulled me off the block with his veto one time. Nicole used a veto on me. Do you know how special it makes you feel when you're playing a game of Big Brother and someone uses a veto on you? Such an incredible feeling. So, yeah, there were people that helped me out when I played Big Brother, but to have a teammate that you really have to depend on, that's a little hard sometimes. Now, if it's on Amazing Race, it's a little bit different because you go in from start to finish, and it's someone that most of the time, someone that you know and that you're supposed to be able to work with and all that. To just have random people, that's tough because they can impact your game, unfortunately. And so maybe I didn't always like that as much in that season as well. All right, Cindy's saying, better zings from Zingbot. Yeah, I've said that before. I try to stay on Big Brother's good side, the producers and all that, right? Because you never know what may happen down the road. And I would like to go back there one time and just go behind the walls and get to see it from the other side and all that. But Yeah, I feel like they've mailed it in on a few of these zings over the years. Now, there's some great ones, right? But you don't need to be body shaming. Me, I'm mature enough. It doesn't really phase me. They threw out being voluptuous, and I don't remember all the terms they used, but made fun of my size and everything else. And I was whatever. I just felt like you wasted. I wanted to hear something good, and that's a wasted zing that you threw at me. But they did that to some other people as well that they've done over the seasons. They're I'm not going to mention them here, but there's some that have been really bad. I think the one they got Tyler in his first season, maybe All Stars, but I think his first season, it was bad. They've been. I don't like body shaming. I don't like making fun of people's physical characteristics. If you want to call Tommy Bracco an attention whore, go for it because that's a character trait. Character traits are a whole different situation. Make fun of them as much as you want for as long as you want because that's what they need to be doing. But you don't, especially in this day and age. How does Big Brother writers not understand you don't make fun of the way people look on national TV? Call me. I will come up with a zing for every single person in that house. And I guarantee half of them will be so brutal they won't actually be able to play on the air and I'll have to rewrite it. But I am happy to show the more devious, sarcastic, dry humor, brutal kind of side of me writing those things. And I won't make fun of the way anyone looks. It'll be all about what goofballs each and every single one of them is next season. Doesn't matter who they are. I'll find something to talk about. Y'all know me. I can talk about anything, right? All right. REM saying, would love to see you on Traders USA. Me too. I'd love to do that. Saying it's going to be on Bravo soon. Yeah, I love the first season of Traders. I would absolutely love. Y'all have heard me before on here. The challenge, put me on. I won't say no, but you're going to carry me away in an ambulance because Ovi and I talked about that yesterday. He and I both think that we would do horrible on that show. Ovi's saying that they'd say, yeah, you're going to do a hall brawl against Fessy. And Ovi would say, yeah, I'm done. Good meeting you guys. I'm out of here. I don't care if it's day one. I'm done. That's Ovi's attitude. My attitude is they could put me up against Fessy and hall brawl. And I'd say, hell yeah, bring it on. And then 5 minutes later, they'd be saying, yeah, EMS, bring it on. We need your assistance here. So neither one of us would make it to the end for different reasons. Challenge probably isn't my meat and potatoes. The circle, emojis and all that, I just don't feel like I'm capable of catfishing people the way they do on that show. But the traders, yeah, I think I could do pretty well on that. If I went on that show, I would just be begging. Can't do it in front of everyone else. I'd have to just do it in front of the producers. I'd be begging, saying, make me a traitor. Let me be the evil person on this show just because no one would expect it. And it would be so fun. Sometimes it's fun to be the villain, right? And if I'm tasked with it, if that's my job, then I don't have to be guilty about it. And they get little side edits of me sitting in the confessional going, I would have a blast. Yeah, the Traitors and Naked and Afraid. Those are the two reality shows that I'm ready to embrace and take on if they just want to give me a call. It'd be fun. One, you're definitely showing a little bit more yourself, expose yourself a little bit more than the other, but they both would be interesting ways to test who I am as a person and what I'm capable of and all of that. Yeah, it'd be fun. I'm ready. But someone has to call me first. So if you got the connections, let them know. Let them know the old boss hog's sitting there ready to go. All right. Noah Lemon is saying, do you still see Jessica from your season? I saw Jessica in December. She was at Hearts of Reality. Have not seen her since then. She's up in Chicago. But even more than that, she's got her daughter, she's got her husband, she's got her modeling and all that. Jessica stays busy. And so our paths just don't cross that much anymore. I talk to her every once in a while with a DM or, we'll comment on each other's posts on social media and all of that. And I miss Jessica. She seen her a few times since we got out, and but haven't seen her since December. Maybe our paths will cross here or there. Yeah, she and Kat were tight, and at one point I thought, oh, well, she and Kat will hang out enough, and Kat's in Dallas, so that'll work out all right. I didn't realize Kat's so busy. She's never in Dallas because she's always busy going wherever she goes for a lot of the influencer stuff she does. I think she's at Coachella right now, which. I could have gone to Coachella. Right? Send me to Coachella. Send me to Stagecoach. Probably Stagecoach a little bit more suited since it's the country music festival. Send me to Burning Man. That would be a fish out of water. If you send me over there to that kind of counterculture environment, I could have interest. I could have interesting commentary and reports coming from Burning Man as I'm walking around in my cowboy hat and talking about some of that stuff. Yeah, forget it. Burning Man, that's that in the middle of the desert. Forget the cowboy hat. I'm wearing a full-blown sombrero. I'd keep the sun off me on that one. I may do the same thing on Naked and Afraid if they'll let me. All right. What else do we have on here? 748. All right, we got a few things here now. REM saying was on Kelly and Ryan 4 times. That's pretty cool. It's fun sitting in the audience and seeing all the stuff that actually goes on, right? Cindy Harris has been on TV and in movies, 3 episodes of Gotham. I think he told me something about that. I'm still impressed. Patch Adams, Flubber. Is that the Flubber with Eddie Murphy? I hope so. I hope it's not the one with who was back in the 50s. Annie with Jamie Foxx, just to name a few. Well, that is cool. I would do that. If I was closer, I would do it. I guess they film a little stuff in Houston. I don't know, call some people, say, hey, just make me an extra. I can just be that random guy walking in the background. I'll be the guy in the back of the courtroom who, when they announce the verdict, goes, oh, yeah, I could do some of that stuff. That's pretty cool, Cindy. I'm always impressed at you and Angie and some of the people that are out here that just, there's so many cool things that people get to do around the world. And, it's just, you never know where life's going to take you, right? Who would have thought I got to do Big Brother, and it just kind of happened. And we all have our little brushes with cultures and environments and jobs that you never really expected, and then there it is, and it's the beauty of life, right? All right. Mark saying, who's the best player in the challenge? Oh, you're going to get me in trouble. CT or Bananas? And Michelle Teller saying CT. Bananas is, from a social player standpoint, maybe I'll give, I don't know. He always gets people mad. He never seems like he can get through a whole season without getting people little alienated with him. I'll say, I think Bananas sometimes is better TV, because I also feel like he knows that as much as it's a game show and it's a competition to win money and all that he knows what the producers want. And I feel like sometimes he's able to just push those buttons a little bit and turn it on when he needs to and get a little extra oomph out of even other people that he's talking to. And he's always got the quips and all that. So in terms of TV, maybe I'll give it to Bananas. In terms of straight up strategy and all of that, I like CT. I've liked CT as a player for a long time. The same way with Devin. Now, I don't think Devin's the most athletic. I don't think he's the best. He's a pretty good puzzle solver, but he and Wes. But I don't know that he's the best overall player. But I've always enjoyed watching him play because I feel like he understands the strategy. And I've always thought, even though I know, that'd be a tough show for me to do, I always picture how I would play the game, and I'd play the game a lot more like Devin plays it than some of these guys that are just such big, muscular alpha guys that are winning all the competitions and all of that. I'd have to play a little differently in that. So, yeah, of the two, I'm going to say CT also, but I do think Bananas sometimes knows how to make the TV pop just a little bit more, if you know what I mean. Right? I met Johnny at the Bananas at the Hearts reality thing in December. What a cool guy. I mean, he's one of those that I would have thought could have easily been kind of a little conceited, a little stuck up, just because he is as popular as he is. He's just a great guy. He's a lot of fun to hang around with. Well, he put on my cowboy hat. We did a little not TikTok, I don't think. What did we do? I don't know. It's boomerang or something. So yeah, it was fun. All right. Ma saying, love you, buddy, but not going to watch you on Naked and Afraid. You're probably not the only one. My wife's probably going to say the same thing as well. I don't know what would worry her and gross her out more. Seeing my backside walking through the Kalahari Desert, or watching me eat a grasshopper or a grub that I knocked out of some pecan or something. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on there yeah. Ma, you're not alone. And I'm just fine with that. They can put up, they'll have to have their blurring technology a little bit wider when they put me on the show. But whatever. Yeah, I always feel sorry. I mean, I love Naked and Afraid because it really is people just facing their, am I internally capable of living through the absolute worst environment? Yeah. 10,000 mosquitoes are going to bite me in the next 15 minutes. Yeah, bring it on, babe. I don't care. 20 degrees below zero. It's raining, and I've got a palm leaf to protect me. Yeah, whatever. I can do it. Don't eat for 21 days. Yeah, I'll eat some grubs or ants on the road or something. Yeah, I like watching people that face the absolute worst and they somehow survive. So that's what I like about it. But how would you like to be some of the production assistants and the cameramen and things like that? They have to follow these people around for 21 days because, first of all, they're naked, and I'm sure the allure of that wears out real quick, especially by the second or third day, because they're naked. They're also dirty. They probably smell like the elephants that they're living around. No way to brush your teeth. There can't be anything fun about being a cameraman and watching these people. And they always eat something or drink water that's not properly sterilized and all that. Because I don't know if I've ever seen an episode of Naked and Afraid where there isn't someone throwing up at some point in time. And I'm very much one of those kind of people. Someone else starts throwing up, I'm going to start getting a little queasy myself. And before you know it, this is going to be the whole room. Cameramen having to watch all that stuff for 21 days. It's got to be a challenge for them. I have a feeling by the 21st day, the cameraman is saying, yeah, I'm done too. I'll get a second car for me, and I'm going to maybe follow those contestants right out the door. That's tough. I bet they got stories to tell if I can ever find some of them, though. I bet there's stuff you don't see make it onto film that would be both interesting and entirely too much information a whole lot of times. I'll find some of that. If you're a cameraman on Naked and Afraid, DM me. I want to have a little discussion with you. 7:54. All right, we'll keep this going for just a little bit more. We'll shut down. Mark saying, any idea when the Challenge USA 2 is starting? No, not only that, but I don't even know for certain. Is it going to be on CBS, or are they pushing that over to Paramount as part of the way to get you onto the platform? The first season, the USA part was on CBS, but that may have just been a teaser. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to start. I'll be watching it, especially because again, whether it's on Paramount or whether it's on CBS, I'm sure I'll get my subscription back by then. So I'll be watching it. But I don't know. I'm so busy between Big Brother Canada and Survivor right now. I hadn't even really thought about the challenge, or I always think about Big Brother USA, but I mean, the shows are starting up a little bit down the road. Haven't even thought too much about it. I'll keep an eye out on the TV guide when it shows up. I'll be there recording it and watching it. Survivor. The last week's Survivor was tough. I know we don't have a lot of time. We lost our showmans. I hope spoiler alerts. Too late. Sorry. But for those of you who haven't watched it, hold your ears for the next 15 seconds. We lost Maddie. We lost the showmans with Franny. I hated to see it. I really was cheering for those two. I felt like they were a little bit of an underdog. I was hoping I still hope she does well. It hit her hard to lose him, which I guess I can see if she felt really close and tight. I've seen a lot of people asking a question saying, why didn't she? And for those of you who didn't watch it, but maybe want a real quick recap, it came down to the fact she had already won immunity for herself. But if she had thrown it right then, she would have then given immunity to half the people on the island, including her showmance partner. And she didn't do it. She kept on fighting and won immunity for her half of the island. But she already had immunity anyway. So theoretically, if she'd thrown it, she could have protected him and she would have been safe. So kind of the best of both worlds, right? And I've seen a lot of people saying, why didn't she throw it or something? Marilyn saying they're still together. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, maybe it'll last forever. Maybe not, but they seem like really nice people. I'm looking forward to meeting them somewhere down the road. But yeah, so she did not throw it, and I know people criticize her a little bit and all that. I got to think, what kind of people play Survivor? Type A personalities, people that don't like to lose, that want to win, they want to give it 100% all the time. the kind of person that would throw that. I, I don't know. There's time for everything, right? So I'm not gonna be too critical. If she had thrown it, I'd be sitting there saying, "Wow, that's a really strong strategic play," because now she's kept someone alive that very much is on her side, and I can see all the benefits to doing it. But I feel like when you're there, because I know even my season of Big Brother, there was a time or two where I really thought I could throw a competition and it wouldn't hurt me. It would maybe even impact me. The slip and slide, I went all out. I knew I wasn't going to win it, but I went all out. But it certainly did not hurt my feelings to lose that particular competition because I thought it would benefit me overall. When Christy and I were playing the double eviction, that power veto competition, it came down to Christy and I spent a lot of time because I really thought about letting her win that one so she would be protected. At that point, Nicole would have to put up either Holly or Mickey instead, and we could have sent out Mickey. We thought about it, but it was rushed, too much, not enough time, and at the end of the day, I could not win when I had the opportunity to do so, and I feel like she probably is the same way. So I'm not gonna hold it against her, but we'll see how it works out in the end. I hope she does well. All right, Noah Lemon saying really wants live finale shows for Survivor again. Yeah, I agree. I get it. Reading it out while they're there on the island and all of that is, and if I'm a contestant, I think I would rather have that. I would hate to be one of the final 3 tribal council members and have to go 6 months, 9 months, however long it is, not knowing for certain whether you're going to win or did I get a vote? Yeah, that'd be hard. So if I'm on the show, maybe I want to go ahead and do it there on the island. But on the other hand, I was talking to and I won't mention names because I don't know if they'd want us. I talked to someone not too long ago that was a Survivor contestant that was not very happy at all that they did not get to do the live finale, that it was a broadcast or done on an island type situation as well, because they wanted to be in LA and have the big wrap up and everything there, as opposed to if it's filmed on the island, you don't really have the whole crew getting together after it's all been seen on TV and everything else. So I guess if I'm on the island, I see it both ways. But yeah, as a viewer, I kind of like it live. It's kind of cool as well. But don't get me started on live finales because we do it in Big Brother, and there's so many things I wish we could change on Big Brother. Make it longer, give a lot more time for jury speeches, for the final 2 to present their case and all that. They just don't have enough time. 3.5 months in the house, and then they're expected to sum it all up in a minute and a half. I would change that all up completely. All right, 8 o'clock. All right, 8 o'clock. We'll finish it up because taxes are calling my name. I got to go find a checkbook somewhere, I'm sure. So we'll shut it down. Guys, thank you. I enjoy your Monday. I didn't mention it the first, so I'll mention it now. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And while you're out there subscribing, you can hit the notifications. So every time I do one of these things, you'll get the silly little graphic of what's coming up for my show or any other shows I happen to be doing on down the road. And while you're out there, you can hit the thumbs up too, because I like the thumbs up, right? Yeah, I do a lot of thumbs up. I realize I do a lot of photos with me doing a thumbs up. I guess that's part of who I am. But yeah, consider please going out there, subscribing, notifications, and thumbs up. I appreciate it. Beyond that, guys, have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic Monday. SKD 143. Love my wife. Love my kids. Love all of y'all as well. If you got to do your taxes, you got about 24 hours left to go. So if you're doing them, know that you're not the only one. I'll see you next Monday, guys. Until then, y'all have a great one. Cheers, my friends. Bye. Almost when I hit the right buttons. Cheers, guys. Y'all have a good one.